In a time long ago, the world was a place of harmony and order. People lived according to divine rules given by Allah, which guided them toward peace, justice, and righteousness. The city of Nur thrived under these principles, becoming a beacon of wisdom. Imam Hassan, a revered scholar, taught the importance of following Allah's guidance, emphasizing that these rules were not restrictive, but protective. Nur's success attracted visitors from far and wide, eager to learn the secrets of its harmony. The people of Nur knew that their prosperity was rooted in their faith and adherence to divine rules. However, challenges existed as people occasionally faced personal struggles, but always turned to Allah's guidance for resolution. As centuries passed, a new ideology, liberalism, emerged, promoting individual freedom over collective good. This wave reached even the distant lands beyond Nur, challenging the established norms. The allure of liberalism enticed people with promises of personal freedom, causing a rift within the community. In Nur, some embraced liberalism, viewing divine rules as outdated. Others, like Imam Hassan, remained steadfast, warning against straying from Allah's guidance. The division grew, leading to heated debates and a fragmented community. The moral fabric of Nur began to erode, replaced by uncertainty and conflict. As liberalism took root, Nur began to unravel. Family structures weakened, community bonds frayed, and social injustice became rampant. The younger generation, influenced by liberalism, rejected the teachings of their ancestors, leading to a breakdown in respect for authority. Imam Hassan watched with a heavy heart as ethical standards eroded, and selfishness and greed took over. Despite his efforts to remind people of the blessings of following Allah's guidance, his voice was drowned out by the clamor for personal freedom. Nur's once strong community bonds weakened, and social structures crumbled. Amidst the turmoil, a young man named Tariq, a student of Imam Hassan, began to question the direction of his generation. Raised with Islamic teachings, Tariq initially embraced liberalism, but soon felt a void. Seeking solace, he turned to Imam Hassan, who reminded him of the true path of happiness through Allah's guidance. Inspired, Tariq embarked on a quest to rediscover Allah's wisdom, studying the Quran and Hadith with renewed vigor. He engaged his peers, sharing insights and encouraging them to look beyond liberalism. Gradually, a small group formed around Tariq, organizing study circles and community events to rebuild the moral fabric of Nur. Tariq's efforts gained momentum as more people joined his cause. The small group grew into a movement, united by the goal of restoring divine wisdom. They organized public lectures, community service projects, and educational programs, emphasizing the importance of Allah's guidance. The transformation was slow but steady. Families rebuilt bonds, communities grew stronger, and justice was upheld. The positive changes in Nur began to attract attention from neighboring regions, spreading the movement's message beyond the city. As Nur transformed, the movement gained momentum. People saw the wisdom in divine rules, families grew closer, and community bonds strengthened. Schools incorporated teachings on ethics, fostering responsibility and compassion among the youth. Businesses operated with integrity, leading to a more equitable economy. Tariq and his group continued to work tirelessly, driven by faith. Their efforts inspired others, and the movement spread beyond Nur, showing the world the benefits of living according to Allah's guidance. Encouraged by Nur's transformation, Tariq and his group traveled to spread their message. They emphasized that the chaos and instability in the world resulted from straying from divine guidance. Their message resonated with many, leading to a global resurgence of faith and righteousness. The movement's success was due to its practical benefits, showing how divine guidance led to tangible improvements in society. People from different backgrounds joined, united by the goal of restoring divine guidance and creating a better future. The impact of the movement was profound. Nations that had been plagued by corruption, injustice, and moral decay began to transform. The divine rules of Islam provided a framework for governance that emphasized justice, compassion, and responsibility. Leaders who embraced these principles found themselves guiding their people toward prosperity and stability. Tariq and his group continued their work, driven by a deep sense of purpose and faith. They knew that the journey to restore Allah's guidance was ongoing, and that every generation would need to reaffirm their commitment to the divine rules. However, they were confident that as long as people remained true to their faith, the blessings of Allah would continue to flow. As the movement spread across the globe, it sparked a global awakening. People in different countries and cultures began to rediscover the wisdom of Allah's guidance. They saw the positive impact it had on their communities and were inspired to adopt the principles of Islam in their own lives. This awakening was not just a religious revival, but a comprehensive transformation that touched every aspect of society. In countries where corruption had been rampant, the divine rules of Islam provided a clear framework for ethical governance. Leaders who embraced these principles implemented policies that promoted justice, transparency, and accountability. They rooted out corruption and ensured that resources were distributed fairly. As a result, these nations experienced a surge in economic growth and social stability. One such country was the troubled nation of Kafara. For decades, Kafara had been riddled with corruption, poverty, and social unrest. The ruling elite exploited the nation's resources, leaving the majority of the population in dire straits. However, inspired by the changes in Nur and the message of Tariq's movement, a new generation of leaders emerged in Kafara, committed to bringing about change through adherence to Islamic principles. These leaders began by overhauling the governance system, implementing policies that promoted transparency and accountability. They established anti-corruption agencies and empowered them to investigate and prosecute corrupt officials. They also introduced measures to ensure fair distribution of resources, prioritizing healthcare, education, and infrastructure development. The changes in Kafara were swift and remarkable. As corruption decreased, public trust in the government increased. Foreign investors, who had previously been wary of the unstable environment, began to invest in the country, leading to economic growth and job creation. The improvement in public services, particularly in healthcare and education, led to a higher quality of life for the citizens. In communities that had been torn apart by social injustices, the principles of compassion and responsibility brought about healing and reconciliation. People began to care for one another, supporting the vulnerable and standing up for the oppressed. The emphasis on justice and equality helped to bridge divides and create a more inclusive and harmonious society. In the war-torn region of Zarqa, the principles of Islam played a crucial role in fostering peace and rebuilding the community. Zarqa had been devastated by years of conflict, leaving behind a fractured society with deep-seated animosities. However, the message of Tariq's movement resonated with the people, and they began to embrace the principles of justice, compassion, and reconciliation. Local leaders and community elders worked together to mediate disputes and promote forgiveness. They established community programs aimed at supporting widows, orphans, and the displaced, fostering a sense of solidarity and mutual support. Over time, the wounds of conflict began to heal, and Zarqa transformed into a symbol of peace and resilience. Education systems around the world also benefited from the global awakening. Schools and universities incorporated teachings on ethics and morality, helping students to understand the importance of living according to Allah's guidance. This focus on character development and community service fostered a sense of responsibility and compassion among the youth. As a result, the next generation was better equipped to build a just and harmonious society. In the educationally advanced nation of Amal, the integration of Islamic principles into the curriculum led to a significant cultural shift. Educators emphasized the importance of honesty, integrity, and community service, encouraging students to think beyond their individual achievements and consider their contributions to society. This approach produced a generation of young leaders who were not only academically proficient, but also morally grounded and socially conscious. The economy, too, saw significant improvements. Businesses that operated with integrity and fairness thrived, setting an example for others to follow. the spirit of cooperation and mutual support was rekindled, leading to a more equitable distribution of resources and opportunities. The global economy became more stable and sustainable, benefiting people from all walks of life. In the bustling commercial hub of Bahar, the adoption of ethical business practices transformed the local economy. Entrepreneurs and business leaders committed to operating with integrity and fairness saw their ventures flourish. This created a ripple effect as other businesses followed suit, leading to a more vibrant and equitable marketplace. The emphasis on ethical practices attracted international partners and investors, further boosting economic growth. Tariq and his group continued to work tirelessly, driven by a deep sense of purpose and faith. They knew that the journey to restore Allah's guidance was ongoing, and that every generation would need to reaffirm their commitment to the divine rules. However, they were confident that as long as people remained true to their faith, the blessings of Allah would continue to flow. The success of the movement inspired others to join the cause. People from different backgrounds and walks of life came together, united by a common goal of restoring divine guidance and creating a better future. This diversity was a strength, as it allowed the movement to draw on a wide range of skills and perspectives, making it more effective in its efforts. The global awakening also had a profound impact on international relations. Nations that had previously been at odds found common ground in their shared commitment to the principles of Islam. This fostered a sense of unity and cooperation, reducing conflicts and promoting peace. The emphasis on justice and compassion helped to build bridges between different cultures and communities, creating a more harmonious world. In the previously tense region of Al-Hudud, the principles of justice and compassion helped to ease long-standing hostilities between neighboring nations. Diplomatic efforts, guided by the teachings of Islam, focused on mutual respect and understanding. This led to the signing of peace treaties and the establishment of cooperative initiatives in areas such as trade, environmental protection, and cultural exchange. The region, once known for its conflicts, became a model of peaceful coexistence. As the movement continued to grow, it became clear that the principles of Islam were not just relevant to one particular region or culture, but had universal applicability. The divine rules provided a comprehensive framework for living a just and harmonious life, regardless of cultural or geographical differences. This realization helped to further spread the message of the movement and inspire more people to embrace Allah's guidance. The global impact of the movement was a powerful testament to the importance of adhering to divine guidance. It showed that by living according to Allah's rules, it was possible to create a just and harmonious society. The efforts of Tariq and his group had a lasting impact, not only on their own community, but also on the broader world. The story of Nur and the global awakening serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of adhering to divine guidance. The world may be tempted by the allure of liberalism and the promise of individual freedom, but true peace and happiness can only be found by following the path set by Allah. The principles of Islam provide a comprehensive way of life that aligns with the natural order established by Allah. By embracing these principles, we can combat the negative effects of liberalism and restore balance and harmony in our lives and communities. The success of the movement also sparked a renewed interest in Islamic scholarship. Educational institutions around the world established programs and research centers dedicated to the study of Islamic principles and their application in modern society. Scholars and researchers worked to deepen the understanding of how Islamic teachings could address contemporary challenges, from governance and economics to social justice and environmental sustainability. This scholarly pursuit led to the publication of numerous works that furthered the reach of the movement's message. Books, articles, and digital content spread the teachings of Islam, making them accessible to a global audience. Conferences and seminars brought together scholars, leaders, and activists to share insights and collaborate on initiatives aimed at promoting justice and compassion. The movement's success was not without its challenges. There were still pockets of resistance and skepticism, particularly in regions where the ideology of liberalism remained deeply entrenched. However, the movement's inclusive and compassionate approach helped to overcome many of these obstacles. By focusing on dialogue and understanding rather than confrontation, Tariq and his group were able to gradually win over many of their critics. As the movement matured, it began to take on a more structured form. Local chapters were established in communities around the world, each tailored to address the specific needs and challenges of their region. These chapters worked autonomously, but were united by the core principles of the movement. They shared resources, exchanged best practices, and supported each other in their efforts to restore divine guidance. The global awakening brought about by the movement had a profound and lasting impact. It showed that by adhering to Allah's guidance, it was possible to create a world characterized by justice, compassion, and responsibility. The principles of Islam provided a timeless framework for living a fulfilled and harmonious life, applicable across different cultures and contexts. The story of Nur and the global awakening serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of faith and the transformative power of divine guidance. It shows that true peace and happiness can only be found by following the path set by Allah. By embracing the principles of Islam, we can restore balance and harmony in our lives and communities, building a better future for generations to come. Let us remain steadfast in our faith and committed to the divine rules of Islam, knowing that they are the key to true fulfillment and the eternal light that will guide us through any darkness.